a projector, and in front of the projector you put a slide. So right over there, it's lit up, it's the most intense color, and then on the wall, it's a little bit more fuzzy, but it's also a beautiful picture. So what we're looking at is the wall. This world is the wall, and we start understanding it, we get to the deeper inside realities, and we start finding scientific evidence of so many Jewish concepts. Today, there is a debate about whether men are men, women are women, gender issues of families, and people say it's genetic. I was genetically predisposed to be a woman, even though I was actually genetically a man. Well, guess what? We say, you may be right. Judaism does not preclude the possibility of people being born genetically designed to have a struggle in life with some of the Torah's morality laws. Guess what? We have genetic markers today for alcoholism. So therefore, I'm going to be an alcoholic. I'm out of the closet. I'm a raging alcoholic. And yes, I drive when I drink. Because guess what? It's not my fault. I was born. I forgot the name of the particular... I could literally name to you the protein, the genetic marker for alcoholism. People have genetic markers for rage. People have genetic markers for rage. There are children who are born and there's fascinating studies being done right now on just regular families that have a child who's like a sociopath. Literally. From the youngest age. Just crazy. Trying to kill their siblings. And how do you deal with this? I was reading this article about this mother describing what happened. She had a regular, normal family. One of her daughters was born. And from the youngest age, she just wanted to hurt. And they can't have her in the house. She's in a facility in Arizona. The family lives in Utah. They go to visit her, but they simply cannot have her in the house. She's tried multiple times to kill her own siblings. They've woken up in the middle of the night and see her by the bed silently with a knife. Okay, we're talking about... There are genetic markers for things that are not good. Just because you are genetically born this way does not mean that it's your God-given right to be that way for the rest of your life. You have to do what's right no matter how you're born. So this person is born with genetic markers that predispose him for this type of lifestyle. And this person is born with genetic markers for alcoholism, for rage, for greediness, for anger, for jealousy. There's genetic markers for it all. Which is amazing, because that's exactly the idea of the bris. You are born perfectly imperfect. You are born to be messed up, and it's your job to fix yourself. That's the message of the bris. So when we talk about these things, it's just a fascinating way to understand when this conversation comes up. But they were born that way. Okay, I was born an alcoholic. And look, the vast majority of men, if you speak to evolutionary biologists, they'll tell you that men are born disposed towards unfaithfulness. Right? We have this evolutionary drive to be able to propagate the species, and the more opportunities you get, the more people that you have the opportunity to try to propagate the species with, the more likely you are to be successful. So from an evolutionary perspective, monogamy was never meant to be. You hear this conversation today. I was walking the show and tell everybody, yeah, I'm just, here we go. Hi. I'm an adulterer. That's the way I was created. I was created an adulterer. Right? No, this may even be true, that genetically you're predisposed. But that's not what life is supposed to be about, just living what you were genetically built. Life is from the very first baby of an 8-year-old baby. What's the message? That your job in this world is to change what you are. Because you were born by God on purpose, not perfect at all. You got to cut away a little bit of who you are to reach your perfection. Hisalech lefonai ve'yeh tamim. Walk before me, do the right things, and that's how you'll be perfect, because you're not born perfect. Okay, but we're not done. Here's an amazing idea that I heard from Rabbi Ephraim Waxman. I don't want to focus entirely on circumcision today. I want to focus on something that's just mind-boggling. Look at source number 2. Vayera Elav Adonai Be'eloni Mamre V'hu Yoshev Pesach Ha'ol Kechom Hayom. And God appeared to Abraham Be'elone Mamre, in the plains of Mamre, and he was sitting at the entrance of the tent when the day was hot. Now, it very rarely tells you in the Torah sort of these exact sort of geographical locations. It will tell you God, Abraham was in Bereishis or whatever. But here it says, God appeared to him in the plains of Mamre. Why does it tell you in the plains of Mamre? Who cares? God appeared to Abraham and said to him, So, there's a fascinating Rashi that brings the Medrash. Look at source number 3. Rashi. Be'elone Mamre, hu shenasan lo eitza al hamila. It was Mamre who gave him good advice about the circumcision. Therefore, lefichach nigla elav bechalko. Therefore, God appeared to Abraham in Mamre's territory. So Mamre is one of Avram's 3 friends. The Torah actually tells us that Abraham has 3 friends. Their names are Aner, Eshkol, and Mamre. Right? This is before Facebook. Abraham would have had like 10,000 friends, right? And so many followers and friends, but this is back in the day. You had 3 friends, you were lucky. You know what I'm saying? So, Abraham has 3 friends, Aner, Eshkol, and Mamre. And it says that Mamre gave him good advice about the circumcision. So, therefore, God made special mention of Mamre when it says God appeared to Abraham in the plains of Mamre. But when you see the full Medrash, it is mind-blowing. Let's review the facts and I'll tell you the full Medrash. God comes to Abraham and says, walk before me and be perfect. Abraham says, perfect. That sounds like a good idea. I'd like to do that. Yep. Where do I sign? Well, God says there's this thing you got to do. It's called a circumcision. Abraham's like, oh, you didn't tell me about that part. Let me go ask my friends. Right? So this is a Medrash. Yeah. Abraham goes over to his friend named Aner. So Abraham walks up. Hey, Aner, how's it going? Hey, Abe. All's good. How you doing, man? I'm doing great. Listen, do you have a moment? Oh, yeah, I got all the time of the day for you, Abraham. So God came to me and said to me, Abraham, I want you to be perfect. And Aner's like, wow, that sounds amazing. What's the catch? Well, there's this thing, circumcision. And, of course, there's never been circumcision before. So Aner's like, what's a circumcision? So Abraham explains the details. And Aner says, whoa. Hold on a second. He says to him, you went to war with 4 kings, and you beat them. They don't like you. They are waiting for any sign of weakness from you, and they will pounce on you and kill you. You're 99 years old. You get an operation like that. Now, by the way, again, when a child is a baby, a circumcision is not that bad, comparatively to when you get it as an adult. I remember when I was in Camp Simcha, there was a camp for children with cancer. There was a boy there who was from Russia, and he wanted to get circumcised. He was not circumcised in Russia, and he wanted to get circumcised, and he said, before I go to this Jewish camp, I want to get circumcised. He was already a cancer survivor, and he got circumcised about 3 or 4 days before camp. And I remember he was sitting in this bunk for the first 4 or 5 days in camp, just in absolute pain. On pain medications and everything. It's very, very painful. So when you get older, it gets more difficult. And this is the times before they had, OxyContin and all these amazing, delicious little pills that people just pop. No, God forbid. Don't think I'm not supporting OxyContin. I've written articles against it. So just in case anyone gets the record wrong. So Abram's going to do this unassisted, unanesthetized. Aner says, listen, Abram, I love you. You're one of my closest friends. And I've always been supportive of your God thing. I've always been very respectful of your religion and the fact that you preach to everybody. I may not be Jewish like you, or not really Jewish because there's no one Jewish. I was Hebrew. I may not be a Hebrew, but I'm all about you and your journey. I'm a big fan of yours. But this, you cannot do. This you cannot do, because if you get a circumcision, the kings are going to hear that you're laid up in your sickbed. You're an old man, and the 4 kings that you beat, they're going to pounce on you and kill you. So, I love you. You can't do this. Abram says, okay, thank you for your advice. Walks down the road to his next friend. Hey, Eshkol, how's it going? Hey, Abram, it's going well, man. How you doing? I'm doing great. Listen, you have some time? I want to ask you some advice. Oh, yeah, I got all the time of the day for you, Abram. No worries. Come on in. Can I make you a tea? Yeah, sure. Okay, good. Abram says, listen, Eshkol, God came to me and said, walk before me and be perfect. Wow, dude, that's amazing. I wish you said it to me. Yeah, there's a catch. I got to do this thing called circumcision. What? He explains what it is, and Eshkol says, whoa, hold on a second there. Hold on a second there. Abraham, I love you, man. I've always been supportive of your religious journey and all that. You're 99 years old. You're talking about doing a major surgery. This is before they had proper blood clotting agents and all that. You're going to bleed out. You're literally going to bleed out and die. I have somewhat of a medical background. I always watch House. I'm telling you, Abraham, if you get the circumcision, you are going to die. And I therefore, as your close friend who's always been supportive of your religious values and everything you do, I'm telling you, you cannot do this. Abraham says, thank you. I'm glad you gave me that advice. I appreciate your time. And he goes to Mamre's tent. Hey, Mamre, how's it going? Hey, Abe, what's going on? All's good. You have a few minutes? I'd like to ask you. Oh, Abraham, all the time in the world for you. Come on in. Can I make you a tea? Sure, yeah. Abraham says, Mamre, my dear friend, God came to me and said, walk before me and be perfect. Mamre, whoa, I wish he said to me, oh, no, not so simple. There's a catch here. God said, I got to get myself circumcised. And circum what? He explains the whole process. And I'm here, Mamre, asking you, what do you think? Should I do it or not? Mamre looks at Avram and says, Avram, you're asking me? God saved you from the 4 kings. You were thrown into a fire and you came out alive because you wouldn't bow down to an idol. God has watched over you since you're a baby. You've been preaching that God is all powerful and you're coming to ask me for advice? Go run home and get your bris milah. Because of that, because Mamre gave Abraham good advice about the bris milah, God appears to Abraham in the plains of Mamre. Mamre gets special mention in Torah. Is that good? Make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. It's a trick, by the way. Anytime I say to you, does it make sense? The answer is no. All right? Here we go. It absolutely does not make sense. What is going on? Why is Abraham getting second, third, and fourth opinions on what God told him to do? Do you know, there used to be an app, I don't know if it's around still anymore, it was called Second Opinion. You know, you had any kind of dilemma, you would just put it up onto the Second Opinion app and then people from all over the world could comment. So like, am I properly parked over here or not? Take a picture, upload it. You have 55 people saying yes, 2 people saying no. Okay, you're safe to park there. Should I wear this dress or that dress? It's absurd, that's where we live today. I need the whole world to make decisions for me. So, Avram's like, God tells you to be perfect and get a circumcision. You got to ask your 3 friends for a second, third, and fourth opinion? What disrespect to God. And, by the way, if you did decide that for whatever reason you had to ask your friends' opinions, you have 3 friends. 2 said don't do it, 1 said do it. Why are you listening to the 1? Listen to the 2. Listen to the majority. Okay. Here's the deal. The whole book of Genesis. All the stories of our patriarchs. Let's understand what's going on. There's this concept called Maaseh Avos Simon Labanim, which means the actions of the forefathers are a sign for what the children are going to do. The forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the matriarchs, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, were creating the genetic code for the Jewish people. They were creating the DNA of the Jewish people, and they knew that. Let's look inside and see what the Ramban, Nachmanides, says in source number 5. I will tell you a principle with which you will be able to understand all the Torah portions that deal with Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And this is a very important idea that our rabbis mentioned briefly. And they said in Tanchuma, Medrash Tanchuma, whatever happened to the patriarchs is a sign for the children. And that is why the scripture goes into lengthy detail in describing their travels, the wells they dug, all the stories that happened to them. One might think that all of this is extraneous without any purpose, yet every one of them comes to teach us about the future. The Ramban, Nachmanides, tells us that everything, every detail we read about in the Torah about our patriarchs and matriarchs is there for an absolute reason. Why did Abraham go and ask for second, third, and fourth opinions, and why did he not listen to them? Says Rabbi Ephraim Waxman, Abraham knew that his friends were going to say, don't do it. They were his buddies. He knew how they thought. He wanted to build into our DNA the ability that everybody else around us can say, hey man, you're crazy. Stop doing this. and we say, I'm doing it anyway. Anytime any one of us tries to be a bigger and better person, the people around us start criticizing us. That's a fact. You know it, unless you surround yourself with all incredible, amazing people. Generally speaking, if you surround yourself by regular people, when you start doing something a little bit better, you say, you know what, I'm not cursing anymore. There's no reason why my mouth should be a sewer. There's no reason why my mouth should spew filth. The whole world does it? That's absurd. The whole world does a lot of things that are stupid and dangerous and wrong. So I'm not going to curse anymore. Now, all your friends are walking around and they're cursing and they're saying these, they're talking crude, and you're suddenly the guy who's not. Oh, what are you trying to be, some kind of, you think you're better than us? You think you're better than us? We all do, everyone curses. What's wrong with you, man? You think you're better than us? Avram wanted to give his children the ability, when his friends were saying to him, you're crazy, stop doing this, he says, I don't care, I'm doing it anyway. So Avram already knew that his friends were going to discourage him, and he did it anyway so that you, my friends, should have the ability that when your friends are around, you are saying, don't be crazy, man, stop being extreme, just be normal like everybody else. You can say, no, I'm going to do this. It's right, and I'm going to do it. So that is the idea here behind what Avram was giving us. Avram gave us that amazing gift. That amazing gift to do what's right despite all of our friends, the ones who we care about and they care about us, are telling us, this is too much. This is too much. And we say, thank you very much for your advice. I'm going to go do it anyway. My friends, that's it for today. Have yourselves a wonderful week. Thank you.